Hello everyone. I am Dr. Sharad Kumar, Assistant Professor, Department of Wildlife Sciences, Aligarh University. Fireworks have pleased the heart and minds of billions of people all over the world for almost 1000 years. Even though pyrotechnics were originally developed in order to fulfill the need of military purposes, fireworks began to form a unique part of the cultural heritage of many countries. The fascination of fireworks and firecrackers is due to the brilliant colors and booming noises which have a universal appeal to our basic senses, and they become the integral part of celebration. But they are having huge impact on our environment and posing challenge for environment conservation. Therefore, it is necessary to understand the ill effect of fireworks on our environment, which in turn motivate us to take preventive measures. In this lecture, I shall be discussing about the ill effects of fireworks and various measures to prevent the environmental degradation. So before going through the impact of fireworks, let us understand the chemistry of fireworks. The basic component of any traditional firework is black powder, which is a mixture of about 70% of potassium nitrate, 15% of charcoal, and about 10% of sulfur. Without the addition of coloring agent, the fuel would provide an almost white light. Therefore, several metal salts can be added to cause colorful luminescence upon combustion. In general, barium is used to obtain a green colored flame. Strontium is used for to get red flame, copper for blue, and sodium for yellow. So we can conclude that fireworks are adding these harmful substances in the environment which are present in the fireworks. Impact of fireworks. Fireworks can have impact on humans, wildlife, and the environment. During their combustion, they release fine particles, heavy metals, and harmful chemical compound into the air, water, and soil. The use of pyrotechnics has raised issues pertaining to health concerns and leading to many diseases. Several recent works identified fireworkers and pyrotechnics as causing environmental pollution, which might result in a potential hazard concerning health aspects. The fundamental problem in this respect is that all chemicals used in fireworks are dispersed in the environment by combustion. This includes both reaction products and the unburnt constituent of a pyrotechnic mixture. One major environmental concern in pyrotechnics focuses on the emission of heavy metals in the environment. Health effects. The health effects from the fireworks can be divided into physical explosion injuries and chemical pollutants exposure. The explosion of fireworks often causes extensive trauma and burns to areas such as skin, eyes, and hands, and even noise induced hearing loss. Short term exposure can aggravate lung diseases, causing asthma and acute bronchitis, and increasing the susceptibility to respiratory infections. In people with heart diseases, short term exposure to the smoke from fireworks have been linked to heart attacks and arrhythmias. Thick smoke generated even by the little sparkles and flower pots can affect the respiratory tract, especially of young children. The smoke that pollute air can make people's condition much severe who are suffering from colds and allergies. It also causes congestion of throat and chest. To produce color when crackers are burst, radioactive and poisonous elements are used. When these compounds pollute the air, they increase the risk of cancer in people. Exposure to pollutants can affect individuals' health in different ways as provided in the below table. For example, inhalation of fine particulate such as saltpeter, charcoal, and sulfur leads to respiratory problems and irritation of the respiratory tracts. Exposure to high concentration of potassium perchlorate leads to thyroid problems. Inhalation of curling metals such as strontium, lithium, barium, etc. lead to respiratory problems and allergies. Exposure to suspended particles lead eye problems. Noise pollution due to fireworks cause auditory disruptions, stress, anxiety. Effect on environment. Atmospheric pollutants produced by firework activity end up affecting the planet, resulting in changes in air temperature, humidity, air visibility, and other factors. During firework displays, it was found that atmospheric heat contents become greater, surface air temperature is elevated, and air visibility can decrease as much as 92%. Explosion of fireworks cause various kind of environment pollutions such as air pollution, water pollution, noise pollution, and soil pollution. Air pollution. The combustion of firework releases fine particles, heavy metals, and chemical compound into the air. These contribute to poor air quality and hence lead to air pollution. Toxic hazes, also known as particle pollution, are created by particulate matter, a combination of minuscule solid and liquid substances found in the air, and considered the most hazardous air pollution due to its ability to affect people's lungs and heart, along with causing environmental damage. Fireworks are significantly responsible for creation of toxic hazes. Apart from larger concentration of particulate matter, firework activity also increases harmful gaseous concentrations such as carbon monoxide, toxic by hindering a living organism's ability to transport oxygen throughout its body, and nitric oxides, toxic by inhalation and skin absorption. Water pollution. The debris of firework activity reaches in the water bodies, thereby having impact on water quality and aquatic life. Firework can also add microplastics, plastic particles 5 and less than 5 in diameter in water bodies and contribute to microplastic pollution in water. Noise pollution. The noise created by fireworks contributes to their festive characters, but also to noise pollution and may be detrimental to human hearing and also have various negative impact on the wild species which are present in the adjoining areas. Impact on wildlife. The loud noises from fireworks can disturb animals, especially birds and other sensitive species. It is causing stress and triggering fleeing reactions in birds. Loud and spontaneous explosions of fireworks can incite flight responses and disorientation. In particular, researchers have found that birds sometimes take flight in masses, flying remarkably longer and higher than normal. The congregation of such birds can be so densely packed that they are detectable with weather radars and so extreme that they result in a marked drain on the bird's energy reserves. In one such documented example, birds flew so far out to sea that there was no possibility they would be able to make the return trip. Fireworks are sometimes employed to intensely discourage wildlife from using particularly vulnerable human use areas. For example, fireworks are used to protect crops, keep wildlife away from airport runways, and drive conflicting species away from human settlements. From studies and anecdotal reports, we know that shock of the explosion causes wildlife to flee. Even in these purposeful efforts, animals have observed running into roadways, flying into buildings and other permanent structures, and abandoning their nest and youngs. In addition to this, firework canisters are not completely destroyed after the explosion, and the debris pollute the environment. If swallowed, firework debris cannot be broken down by an animal's digestive system. This can lead to the death of the animals, or in some cases, offspring being inadvertently fed the foreign material to the young ones. Pets and birds who live and fly around the human settlements can be killed by the sonic shock created by the fireworks. Fireworks also pose a threat of starting forest fires in areas already susceptible to forest fires, or when conditions are hotter and drier. Embers and sparks produced from ignited fireworks have a higher chance of creating a flame that can lead to a destructive forest fire, consequently, harming wildlife, their habitat, and environment. Measures to control environmental degradation. Our environment provides us life supporting element necessary to support life in various ecosystems on this planet. Humans play an integral role in ecosystem functioning and are guilty of harming various ecosystems of Earth. Our activities affect not only the environment but also the organism that exist with us and their habitats. Therefore, it is our duty and responsibility to find out the ways to stop the environmental degradation and contribute in implementation of program and policies aiming at the conservation of the environment or aiming at the restoration of the degraded environment. Let's learn about various ways to prevent environmental degradation. Population control. Although many factors cause environmental degradation, the most important and basic factor is rapidly increasing human population. Therefore, a well-planned program and policies for population control is essential for achieving decent quality of life and to stop the environmental degradation. Various efforts to control population growth through contraceptive technology and the expansion of family planning services and to control environmental degradation by technology and management will meet with little success. A prerequisite for controlling these dual problems is the improvement of living condition for the masses. Only when individuals acquire a sense of security and have the prospect of acquiring a share in the resources of the country will they be willing to conserve and renew resources and to limit their fertility. Therefore, there is a need to adopt a holistic approach where population control programs should also incorporate the strategies to improve living standards and sharing of natural resources among the various sections of the society. Stop deforestation. In order to mitigate the adverse effect of environmental degradation, stopping deforestation is crucial for our environmental system. We cannot afford to cut or burn trees down as trees store greenhouse gases, produce oxygen, stabilizes weather conditions, prevent soil erosion, and are the natural habitat for many animals and plant species, which may become endangered if forests are destroyed. The cutting of forests disturbs the ecological balances of various ecosystems of Earth. Therefore, to ensure long-term conservation of environment, we should not cut the forest. You can contribute to the effort against the deforestation by doing these easy steps. Plant more trees. Engage in tree planting initiative in your community or through global organizations. Go paperless. Reduce paper consumption by growing digital at home and in the office. When you do not support responsible companies, choose to support companies that are committed to reducing deforestation and use sustainable practices. Buy certified wood products. Opt for wood or paper product that are certified by the Forest Stewardship Council or similar organizations in various countries. Avoid palm oil. Palm oil production contributes significantly to deforestation. Check labels and avoid products containing palm oil where possible. Adoption of organic farming. Adoption of organic farming is an important step to mitigate the problem of environmental degradation. Soil building practices such as crop rotation, intercropping, symbiotic associations, cover crops, organic fertilizers, and minimum tillage are central to organic practices. These practices encourage soil fauna and flora, improving soil formation and structure, and creating more stable systems. In turn, nutrients and energy cycling is increased, and the retentive abilities of the soil for nutrients and water are enhanced, compensating for the non use of mineral fertilizers. Such management techniques also play an important role in soil erosion control. The length of time that the soil is exposed to erosive forces is decreased, soil biodiversity is increased, and nutrient loss are reduced, helping to maintain and enhance soil productivity. As we know that use of synthetic fertilizer is prohibited in organic agriculture. They are replaced by organic fertilizers, for example, compost, animal manure, green manure. Through the use of greater biodiversity in terms of species cultivated and permanent vegetation, it helps in enhancing soil structure and water infiltration. Well managed organic systems with better nutrient retentive abilities greatly reduce the risk of groundwater pollution. Organic agriculture reduces the use of non renewable energy by decreasing agrochemical need as they require high quantities of fossil fuels to be produced. Organic agriculture contributes to mitigating the greenhouse effect and global warming through its ability to sequester carbon in the soil. Many management practices used by organic agriculture, for example, minimum tillage, returning crop residue to the soil, the use of cover crops, and rotation, and the greater integration of nitrogen fixing legumes increase the return of carbon to the soil, raising productivity and favoring carbon storage. A number of studies reveal that soil organic carbon content under organic farming are considerably higher. The more organic carbon is retained in the soil, the more the mitigation potential of agriculture against climate change is higher. So we can say that the organic farming can also help in mitigating the global problems of climate change and the global warming. To promote organic farming, Indian government is running various schemes such as Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana and offer financial incentives or grant to farmers who are willing to adopt organic farming methods instead of traditional farming. This could include subsidies for organic certification or funding for training or infrastructure improvement to adopt the organic farming. Being responsible citizens by adopting following ways, we can also contribute toward the promotion of organic agriculture in our areas. Educate farmers about the benefits of organic farming, including improved soil health, higher crop yields, and healthier food for the consumers. Provide training and resources to farmers who are interested in transitioning to organic farming methods. This may include information on organic seeds, natural pest control techniques, and other sustainable practices. Encourage local organizations such as schools, hospitals, and community centers to purchase food from local organic farmers. This can help to create a market for organic products and provide a financial incentives for farmers to adopt organic practices. Promote the benefits of organic farming to consumers and to encourage them to support local organic farmers by purchasing their products. This can include hosting farm to table events, creating educational materials, or collaborating with local businesses to promote organic products. Adoption of green products. So let's first understand what is green products. Products which are non-toxic, made from recycled materials, minimally packed, and that has less of environmental impacts are known as green products. Adoption of green products at mass level contributes significantly in conservation of environment. In developing countries like India, various factors such as the lack of public awareness, which in turn lead to lack of people participation, lack of laws, and weak social system are the hindrances in green product adoption. We can promote the adoption of green product through creating awareness among people about benefits of green products, increasing participation of non-governmental organizations and self-help groups, media in promotion of green products, developing efficient marketing system for green products, promoting research and development of the green products. Adoption of clean energy. Consumption of energy sources is rapidly increasing in various sectors. Resources are tremendously used and environmental footprints are rising, which in turn intensify global climate change and environmental problems. Since energy utilization is among the significant causes of environmental degradation, environmental conservation calls for adoption of clean energy, adoption of sustainable industrialization. Sustainable industrial development works to lower greenhouse gas emissions and conserve water, energy, and natural resources. Adoption of sustainable development leads to control of environmental degradation. Many industrial businesses are shifting toward the eco-friendly development to uphold their ethical responsibility to ensure a cleaner and safer environment. Adoption of sustainable transport. Sustainable transport is important because it contributes to the reduction of carbon dioxide emissions, which directly benefit the environment further, decreasing anthropogenic pollution and improving air quality in cities and rural areas. Public participation. Another way to control environmental degradation is by encouraging public participation in protecting the environment. For this, it is important to increase awareness of the safety of the environment among the people, and we should use all means to create the awareness among the people about the importance of the environment conservation. Control of industrial, vehicular, and agriculture pollution. Pollution caused by industries, vehicles, and agriculture activities is a major concern. Therefore, it is essential to focus on controlling pollution from these sources on a priority basis. Industrial pollution can be controlled with the help of different measures such as introducing economic incentives, promoting cleaner technologies, strengthening emission standards. Vehicular pollution can be controlled through different strategies like taxes on fuels and vehicles, expansion of public transport, traffic management, promotion and use of alternative fuels such as LPG, CNG, battery operated vehicles, tightening emissions norm and fuel quality specification, etc. Agriculture pollution can be controlled by minimizing the use of pesticides and chemical fertilizers and by promoting the organic farming. Protection of biodiversity. Most of the legal provision existing in the country focus on the use and exploitation of biological resources instead of their conservation. Therefore, it is essential to give more emphasis on the conservation of resources through the rules. Besides, comprehensive legislations on biodiversity conservation should also be implemented effectively on the ground. Prevent land degradation. Preventing land degradation is essential to control environmental deterioration. It can be done through the development of well defined integrated land use policies. Beside the development of rural fuel wood, grazing and fodder policies can also help in preventing land degradation through the guiding management of land and forest sustainably and scientifically. Environment education, training, and awareness. In order to create awareness, the government should use both formal as well as non formal educational channels. Management of hazardous waste. Another measure to control environmental degradation is through the development of strategies that can ensure scientific management of hazardous waste. These strategies consist of all the aspects of waste management cycles, starting from waste generation to its handling, segregation, transportation, treatment, and disposal. The primary focus of these strategies should be on minimization of waste production, implementation of eco development programs. Lastly, environmental degradation can be controlled through eco development programs. The basic aim of these programs is to restore the already degraded ecosystem through practical schemes such as land reclamation, cleaning water bodies, etc. Now let's go through some of the policies which can help in the control of the environmental degradation. Sustainable policies to check environmental degradation. To prevent the environment degradation, it is imperative to have sustainable policies. Following are the some sustainable policies to control the environmental degradation. Reducing poverty. Such development projects should be started which provide greater employment opportunities to the poor. The government should expand health and family planning services and education so as to reach the poor. That will help in reducing population growth and in turn the poverty. Further, making investment in providing civil amenities like the supply of drinking water, sanitation facilities, alternate habitat in place of slums, etc. will not only improve welfare of people but also environment. Removing subsidies. To reduce environmental degradation, subsidies for resource used by the private and public sectors should be removed. Subsidies on the use of electricity, fertilizers, pesticides, diesels, petrol, gas, irrigation water, etc. lead to their wasteful use and environmental problems. Removing or reducing subsidies will bring both economic and environmental benefit for the country. Clarifying and extending property rights. Lack of property rights over common resources lead to overutilization of resources and in turn leads to degradation of environment. This leads to overgrazing on common or public lands, overutilization and wastage of water, deforestation and overexploitation of minerals, fishes, etc. Clarifying and assigning ownership titles and tenural rights to private owners will solve environmental problems. Places where the use of common lands, forests, irrigation systems, fisheries, etc. are regulated and rules for their proper use are laid down by the community, it is observed that it leads to sustainable use of resources by the people. Market based approaches. Beside regulatory measures, there is an urgent need for adopting market based approaches for the protection of environment. They aim at pointing to consumers and industries about the cost of using natural resources on environmental. These costs are reflected in the prices paid for goods and services so that industries and ultimately the consumers are guided by them to reduce impact on environment. The market-based instruments approaches are in the form of environmental taxes that include pollution charges, marketable permits, deposit funds system, input tax, public products charges, differential tax rate and user administrative charges and subsidies for pollution abatement equipment for air and water resources. Thank you.